Recording. My instant answer. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanam Sahagana Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Tasmai Shri Gurave Maha Acha Gurva Vistasa Purham Guru Ganai Rashisha Shambhushitam Chintya Samastaveta Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanagam Govinda Vidhamutpalam Varatanam Bhaktyam Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwagurum Chadivya Bhagavat Premo Hi Bija Pradam. Namo Mahaviranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvite Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Well, dear devotees, we are here in a 6-person dormitory in Lecco after arriving by foot, we must say, our feet must say, arriving by foot yesterday on parikrama, pilgrimage from Vila Govinda Ashram. And we are here, so we are 6 online, but we are 6 in the room. We have woken everyone up and we'll try, oh yes, we better not speak too loud because there's a dormitory next door also. So we must be a little bit careful not to wake up. And those are not necessarily devotees next door. They're human beings. Hare Krishna. All right. So, dear devotees, back to basics. And let us start first by asking Paramananda Prabhu, who's looking very peaceful there in Japan, I think still in Japan. He's looking very peaceful, composed like a good sadhu. And I think if we can pass over the microphone to Paramananda Prabhu, giving him a few moments to think, what important basics of bhakti should we discuss today?
Dandavat.
Dandavat.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, then we can start off. We don't have a lot of, well, we can start off by saying that just to give a little news from here, that there are different processes which are favorable in devotional service. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, in that song, then he's saying that he'll visit the holy places, the places where Mahaprabhu visited, the devotees visited. And in the company of loving devotees, he'll visit these places. So this is what takes place when we go to Navadip, when we go to India. And India means the country of India, but we actually we don't go to India when we go to the temple, when we go on parikrama. We are going to the holy places, and we are going to those very places where Mahaprabhu and his devotees went to. And so we're doing, just a little update. We're doing similarly here, but we're in the country of Italy. But we're visiting places that Srila Gurudev went to. And this way, Srila Gurudev, he's the modern age. Srila Guru Maharaj is the modern age. Srila Prabhupada is the modern age. And we tend to think that the Goswamis and these great souls, they were only 500 years ago, or hundreds of years ago, or 5,000 years ago in the case of Vedavyas and Shukadev Goswami, etc. But we have those living personalities in the present time. And the present time means that the present, you could say, generation, which means Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. And so we have that opportunity here in Italy to visit such holy places where they have been and where they had pastimes with the devotees. And so we've taken this opportunity, started just as an idea, or let's go, let us walk instead of taking, the car or something. Let us walk to the holy places which are here nearby in Italy that Gurudev went to. And it was a little bit inspired by St Francis of Assisi, because we have no doubt about his credentials as a saint, etc., very pure in purpose, etc. This is not our comment, but when we saw that St. Francis, the places he went to, the public queue up to go to have darshan for, I don't know how long, because I didn't queue up and go and have darshan, but of the room where he stayed for one night or maybe 2 nights when he came to meet the Pope. And so when we saw that, that also gave a little inspiration of how valuable are the places that Srila Gurudev went and Guru Maharaj went and Srila Prabhupada went. And yesterday, Kumkum Devi Dasi, who's with us, she walked part of the way, by the way, but in little part of the way. And Kumkum Devi Dasi.
But she took rickshaw, Maharaj?
Huh?
She took rickshaw the rest of the way?
She took a rickshaw. Well, a rickshaw with an engine and doors and windscreen wipers. So I'm sure she took a rickshaw in mind. But yeah, a car can't go the way we went. It was the footpath along the way. But yes, just as sometimes there's a parallel road to a footpath. So she took a rickshaw. But she commented that she went to what they call, unfortunately, Hippie Hill in San Francisco. And she commented about going there and how it just felt the presence today, like, I don't know how many years on, 1970, 30, 40, 50. So anyway, like 55 years on, something like that, when Srila Prabhupada was there, and he was chanting on Hippie Hill, with the devotees, the new devotees, and with the hippies. And she said, "Oh, this, it has such a feeling, and to go there and to go on a pilgrimage to the places of the saints we know is even like more special in some sense." Well, it's all gradation of speciality, but feeling that great feeling of the immediate presence of Srila Prabhupada. And like this, we came to the place where Leonardo da Vinci's boat is. And that some of you have been there, you've seen that. And then from there, we walked to Lecco, and we heard the pastime of Gurudev when he was on his red scooter and headed the parade of the Ferrari display on the main street that runs right down, they call Promenade or something. I'm not sure what it is. The road that goes along right beside the lake, which is a beautiful road. And we heard some pastimes of Srila Gurudev there, and in that like pedestrian area where Gurudev was. And then the Cafe Union should give us a discount because we took like 35 devotees on a pilgrimage there. And some of the devotees followed the footsteps, if we can say that, footsteps of our Divine Master, and also had some hot drink there. And some of us sheltered from the rain because when we got there, which is right sort of the destination before coming to the hostel, to the dormitory where we're going to be in the night. And then when we got there, the heavens opened, monsoon rain with wind, and some stayed in the cafe, and some of us, we went and took shelter in a nearby archway. We stayed more or less dry, even though we were maybe 10 meters inside the archway, but the wind was so strong, it was blowing the rain inside. We were still getting a little damp. So this, anyway, a little bit of our adventure in the sense of going to the places of Gurudev's pastimes here in Italy, and with the similar briefing as when we're in Navadip, Vrindavan, Govardhan, when we're in the Himalayas going to pilgrimage to the places there. Similar briefing of what we're doing. This is devotional practice, and it's an excuse to be with devotees, but how our speaking must all be Krishna-centered speaking. No criticism or discussing the character of others, whether they're devotees or whether they're politicians or anything at all. And just the general good behavior of devotees. And almost everybody was wearing dhoti, or Brazilian wearing dhoti, tilak, everything. And we've got little flags. Can you bring a little flag? Mm-hmm. And we've got little flags that I think Madhusudan Prabhu made. And they're also waterproof, which is good. One side, Vila Govinda Ashram, Journey of Life. And this QR code goes to Vila Govinda, I think. I haven't clicked it myself. And the other side, there's Journey of Life, Vila Govinda Ashram. And you might recognize this mantra. If you haven't learned it yet, it's worth learning. It's a very good mantra. In fact, it's the best mantra. And so we have these in our bags. We've got tilak. So we're an obvious group. And actually, really, it's an obvious pilgrimage group or obvious group of people, going somewhere, holy people, God-fearing, not God-fearing, following the line of God on pilgrimage. And everybody practically, I can't say 100%, but most people, they really are happy to see us smiling and asking. And we've got Jai Shekhar Prabhu, who stayed also with us. He's here. Jai Shekhar Prabhu, Rasarati Devi Rasi, and others who are Italian. And they were the preaching team and explaining to the puzzled public who we are, what we're doing, and say, oh, what is this pilgrimage? Jai Shekhar will be saying, Hare Krishna, we are Hare Krishna, and in Italian explaining something. So anyway, this is a little news from here, but it's a little news that wherever we are in the world, if there are places where Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru Maharaj, and it would only be so Srila Prabhupada or Srila Gurudev, or it would only be in the country of India for Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, because as we know, he didn't come out from India and the broader India. Today, India is divided into Pakistan and Bangladesh. And Burma, maybe Guru Maharaj went to Burma too, but that region of Pakistan, India, what's now Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Burma is where Srila Guru Maharaj extensively went to places. And of course, headed by Sri Chaitanya Saraswati, the very place that he established. He established, and Srila Guru Maharaj expanded, set firmly, already set firmly, but Srila Guru Maharaj, he developed the mat and gave Srila Guru Maharaj much nourishment, much joy that he was responsible and took the charge of not only building the mat, and it's visible, what we see visibly in the way of the ashram and the beauty of the place, but he kept the spiritual purpose, because it's not bricks, it's not this, it's not that, it's a spiritual matter. And last week we were reading, or recently, maybe last week, we were reading the article which is called Our Promise. And that was Srila Gurudev, and he was saying about in Australia at that time, Rupa Nugaru was here from Australia, but at that time, then Srila Gurudev saying that we are here to establish an ashram, but actually we are not here as builders to build places and to do this, that, and the other. What we are doing is the spiritual substance. And so we want to establish the spiritual substance everywhere. So similar to that, our walking, it's not so we can walk, it's really so we can get into the spirit of one of those favorable departments of devotional service, which is using our body, using our legs to go on pilgrimage with the devotees. So wherever Srila Prabhupada or Srila Gurudev went, wherever Srila Guru Maharaj went, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went, Bhaktivinoda Thakur went. These are all great places of pilgrimage, in fact. And so, headed in India by Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj, headed in Italy by Vila Govinda Ashram, headed in different countries by the places that Gurudev went and established. So, wherever you are in the world, if you can find some holy places and some persons who can say about those places, then similar things can be done without the expense and the other challenges that go along with it for going to India.
Well, Maharaj, now we can propose a walk from Chiang Mai to Bangkok. We see Govinda Maharaj's Tirtha there, one of his favorite places.
It hadn't exactly escaped my thought, something in Thailand being possible. And you would have to be the leader, you and Krishna Priya, for taking us. We can walk in Bangkok. I mean, we need to be independent of any environment, really. And here we've been in the countryside. And by the way, yesterday was a very beautiful walk. And we felt Gurudev with us. And why? Because all of our phones, every weather forecast predicted it was going to be a disastrous day, not just rain, but like torrential rain, non-stop all day. Everybody's phone predicted that for the 4 days from before, when we first, because it always gives the 5-day forecast, all the way through till that day, yesterday, and the morning of the day. But yet it was such a beautiful day. And honestly, I told the devotees who have a lot of faith in their phones, I said to them like a week ago when they're saying, oh, but the weather's so good now, it's going to be so bad. I said, come on, just wait and see. But everybody's phone said it was going to be like a monsoon, windy, and bad. And it was a beautiful day. Means the sun did come out and we did have sun, but it was also not hot. If remember, and now we're getting, at the end of April, when the sun comes out now, it can be quite warm. So we had a beautiful walk yesterday, but still, it was very beautiful yesterday. But the environment we're in, it is also, we accept the environment happily, and we're going to a destination. So devotees do like to say, "How are you?" And yesterday, maybe devotees for 4 or 5 times, I say, "How are you? How are you?" Then my answer yesterday was, "I know I'm going in the right direction." So if we do a walking pilgrimage to Bangkok or in Bangkok, because the places in Bangkok Gurudev went to, then the difficulty only is going to be not getting run over by cars, because in the cities and in India it can be really, the danger is the cars, not the bears and the tigers and the giraffes. I never saw any mention of giraffes in Africa, in India. But how can it be such an elegant, beautiful animal? Wasn't in India. But I've never seen any description in Srimad Bhagavatam or anything about the sages in their ashram. We hear about so many familiar animals, but no giraffes. How is that so? Anyway, but anyway, on who was telling, Munindra Mohan, so one of the devotees telling, most dangerous animal in the world is the hippopotamus, as though we meet hippopotamuses every day. Or Chinmoy Defu, okay, he was saying that, but the hippopotamus. But the most dangerous animal is the car, this Kali Yuga, the metal horse called a motor car. And I've been with a big Russian and Russian-speaking group, mainly Russian-speaking group in Vrindavan. One year, one of the later years, when we were doing parikrama of Vrindavan. And the devotees can be a little bit like the Indian cows, means they're in the mode of goodness, they accept the environment, and they walk around in the middle of the road without caring for the traffic. And so devotees can be a little bit like this. And really, I was trying to get the devotees to be car conscious, because now, for quite a part of the parikrama of Vrindavan, they've opened the road. The parikrama path they've now made to a road, and from Mathura to Vrindavan, then vehicles take that road, and that means the buses and the trucks and the people. Well, mainly it's not the trucks so much, but there are trucks, but the cars. And really, one year, one of the later years, I thought, today's parikrama will be successful if I can get everyone back to the temple with no injuries. It was really like that. And it was because in India, you really do have to understand you're a pedestrian. You don't have right of way. The vehicle has got right of way. And, people get hit. Our devotees get hit. We've had devotees in Vrindavan get hit. So anyway, the danger in Bangkok would be, I think, cars. But Thailand.
No worries, Maharaj. We'll take rickshaws. No need to walk. I have quite a few stashed. Just need to put some air in the tires.
You do. Genuine rickshaws from a long time ago.
But good point you brought up about the Francis of Assisi. He just stopped in that place on the way somewhere, shortly, as I understood, right?
Yeah, this is actually in Rome. He came to
Rome,
see
yeah.
Pope. So where he stayed in Rome, which, according to my official guide, who was Dhananjaya Prabhu, who's a Roman, I mean, he's quite happy to be identified, in this life as a Roman. He's genuine Roman. And maybe he's a descendant of Julius Caesar. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, he's a genuine Roman, so he's quite enthusiastic about Rome. And he told me 1 or 2 nights is how long he stayed. It wasn't a long, like this
Short
is
time.
where he had his ashram.
But in our case, we have so many places in the world where Srila Govinda Maharaj stayed extended period of time, and repeatedly so. And not just that, he actually established those places, like Sokal, Italy, London, Mexican temples, Bangkok, where he was planning to spend the rest of his days, and quite a few other places. So we're taking it for granted, and it's really a good example for everyone to point it out that these are the tirtha, the holy places, and the holy places for the faithful. Like Kumkum was saying, she went to the hippie hill. For some, hippie hill is a hippie hill. They will associate it with the late 1960s, early 70s, with a bunch of hippies smoking pot. But for those who have faith, and they can go there, and then they can remember the kirtans of Swami Maharaj in the very beginning, how all those devotees were joining him, and really it's a miraculous. But only those with faith can see that. So it's a good practice in general. It said that the tirthas are not made, they're not historically established or just this, okay, that's going to be the tirtha. So the sadhus are making the tirthas. And not just making the tirthas, they're also purifying the tirthas by their presence, which is even more amazing. You may say the tirtha is already pure. Some pastimes of the Lord happen there, his devotees, but then the sadhu comes and he adds to the aura or a halo of that place and purifying it, because so many just coming in order to, what's the word, relieve themselves. Not biologically too, unfortunately, but
unfortunately,
yes, other reliefs, and the other one is actually worse than the biological one. So they're getting contaminated in a way. So again, sadhu is going there, and the place becoming purified, and we never know who is the sadhu. So another place in the Shastra saying that wherever the name is chanted is considered to be the holy place. But Guru Maharaj would add, chanted in a proper mood and of a particular quality, then that takes the effect on that place. And sometimes groups of people go, and the sadhus, they're not obviously manifested. So I have no eyes to see who is the real sadhu, but there might be a group of people traveling here, and there's a genuine devotee of Lord Krishna who is very dear to him. And he's there, he's chanting, he's doing some activities. Automatically place becoming a pilgrimage. But in our case, we already know, we have Govinda Maharaj, we have Prabhupada, like you said, who travel around the world. We have their dear associates. So that automatically establishes those places at the tirthas. So it's a good practice, Maharaj, very inspiring.
And we have Harinam Sankirtan, which took places there, directly headed by such personalities. The pastimes, and not only the presence, but the pastime. Oh,
we don't have to walk. We can walk if it's walkable. And I actually seen the monks walking from Bangkok, some temples, to Chiang Mai and back. And I would give them lift sometime. I can see they've been on the road for a week or two.
Oh, you gave
barefoot.
You gave them a lift and told them, oh, don't tell your chief monk.
No, it's a practice. But they're walking barefoot. You can actually, before I saw more, but now it's a little bit less. But you see kind of a bit of a dusty monk walking. You can see he's carrying a big bag. There's some kind of a sleeping arrangement there. And he is absolutely barefoot. And some people, they like to give lifts. They're not asking. They're giving them lifts just because they want to do some service. And it's their duty to accept that if it's coming. So they're thinking, oh, this is the will of the Lord, the will of the Lord Buddha, then we're accepting that. So this is happening already. And Aparajita, she is in Bangkok, very near to Gurudev's Tirtha, but she's never been there. She doesn't even know. that such place exists. So ask Muktinath, he will take you there.
And also Aparajita, she put a comment that in Bangkok, if walking on the pedestrian area, I think pretty safe, just hot. Yes, in that part, in some places, I know that in the village areas, then little less easy. But I also saw in Thailand, people are respectful of pedestrians, not quite like India. But on the village roads, you do have to be careful because the cars zoom along. Yes, and Rupan Nuga Prabhu, he's very optimistic. Chiang Mai to Bangkok, 7-day walk. My goodness, how far can you walk in one day? Yesterday we did 25 kilometers. And we were quite ready to stop. We all appreciated coming to the center. In the center, it's a dormitory, but we've got our own dormitory. So it's, if we don't make too much noise and wake up others, then we've got our own association in the dormitory. And this is all arranged by Madhurnanda and Prabhu and Shanti Moy. They just heard the idea and they picked up the ball. It's their credit that this came to be. And we've got 30-something devotees on the parikrama, and coming from Sweden, Ireland, England, well, Ukraine, Italy, Brazil. I mean, we've got quite a bunch of devotees who are here. Oh, Salt Lake City. Jayadev Prabhu from Salt Lake City, Kumkum, Sri Lecco come from Salt Lake City. And of course, well, not of course, but Sri Lecco, Kumkum, and Sachi Devi, we call them the three angels. And they've walked some part, and different of them, different amounts. And then, the devotees are very caring. Like you're saying, you take a lift when you can, take a rickshaw or whatever standard it may be. So the devotees are very caring, and they're all a great contribution to the pilgrimage, because they've all got stories, and we share association along the way. So we try not just to be with some devotees, we try to be with all the devotees at different times. So the three angels, they very substantial contribution to the parikrama. In the chat box, by the way, Sevarupa has put some things in small text. So I expect Sevarupa, in her youth, she can read what she's put. I can't read at all. I can't even give you a hint of what is there.
Is there an image you can download?
I'll go to download. Anyways, Sevarupa Didi, I know it's early for you, but can you? Oh, look how bright your room is. Very bright. Okay. By the way, we are augmenting our lighting with a little flashlight. Practical studio lighting. Sevarupadi, please let us know what you put there and share it with us.
Well, Jai Gurudev, it's so it's just a quote from Guardian of Devotion by Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj. And I think it was somewhere around the introduction. It was by Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj, if I understood it correctly. But this was it was my sister's birthday in the week, and I wanted to give her something. So I shared this online book with her. And then I thought I had to read it as well before, because I shared it with her. So I got halfway, but this part stood out for me. So I'm just sharing with everybody. Yes, it is quite faint, the text, and I'm going to, let's see if I can read what I put there. So it is, so it says Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, The postgraduate study for Gaudiya Vaishnava begins with the invocation Vande Guru. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters. Therein, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami reveals that the fully blossoming spiritual conception comes to embrace a plurality of gurus. The scriptures in general present a very broad and universal conception of Sri Guru, laying stress on the spiritual substance, that divine current of nectar that flows down to this plane from the highest domain through the inspiration that is found in the heart of a real Vaishnava. To deny divine revelation through another agent in the name of being chaste to one's guru can be offensive and even suicidal, as Guru is the functioning principle of divinity, revealing himself in this world, according to our different stages of realizations. He may appear in different forms. The chastity of a disciple is demonstrated in recognizing the divine presence of Sri Guru wherever it is found, and bowing his head at the lotus feet of the agent through whom divinity is so kindly revealing himself. Did I stop there? Okay, then I'm not sure if I cut out some, but the next part says, inner dimension of his divine personality. His divine grace, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj writes in Sri Guru and his grace, we must not identify our Guru with the appearance we perceive with our physical senses. Our inner identification of him will be clarified according to the growth of our vision. When our vision increases and takes shape from material to transcendental, his look will also change accordingly. Otherwise, what we see will be based on a material conception, and to force the material conception onto divinity is a crime. It is ignorance. It is erroneous. We have to free ourselves from the snare of identifying reality with the physical form presented to our senses. By eliminating the external conception, we have to enter into the internal, and that will be all important to a progressive disciple if we want to go to the inner world of substance. So that, Jai Gurudev, that stood out for me, but whether I'm understanding much or not, maybe Maharaj and the disciples can shed some light or give some direction. Jai.
Well, this is very much Guru Maharaj. This is very much Gurudev also, and it's being expressed by Srila Bhakti Surya Goswami Maharaj here. And he's giving us like the basis of what is the book. What is this book? Actually, this is the blue covered, blue color covered, like a magazine kind of publication, which had in it also photographs, various photographs of Guru Maharaj inside. And so this is very much setting the scene for this, and in particular in a time when people were thinking only Srila Prabhupada, there is no other way, like only Srila Prabhupada. And yet he's showing and illustrating the fact that we have to see the descending current wherever it will be. And so, yes, I expect, I can't say how much you understand, because only you know what goes on inside your mind. But yes, I think that you're catching the thread of this. And we are meditating on Guru who knows Radha and Krishna. And so we are in the conscious area to see that everything is favorable for that, and that Krishna himself is sending messages to us all the time. Whether we say Krishna it is or Guru it is we are getting those messages. And yesterday, we told you what a beautiful walk it was yesterday. And honestly, I felt it was Srila Gurudev just playing a happy trick on the devotees, just to say, you know, don't forget, I'm there. We are with you, know, from the other upper world. They're with us, but they're with us in different ways. And Krishna himself, as Mahaprabhu, is the original guru too. Okay, Nityananda, who's telling us about Krishna. So we can go then to Nityananda. But Krishna in his Acharya form, basically, is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's coming to distribute himself. And so the Lord, he's inside everything, in the heart of everything, including the atom. And when we read Brahma Samhita, also, we are reading how he's inside the very smallest thing. He's inside everyone. And yet, he's the creator of everything, and he's independent. So the Lord knows everything, and the environment will come to be our friend. And in particular, at this juncture in time, it is when the necessity that the devotees can see that there is guardianship in this world, and that what Srila Prabhupada is giving, that is being given by Srila Bhakti Rakok Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj at that time. And we must recognize where that is coming, and not the formality, the form, as Guru Maharaj says elsewhere about who is the Guru. Is he young or is he old? Is he wearing winter clothes? Is he wearing summer clothes? And that's about that one particular personality, you can say. But what is the Guru part of that, of the Guru? What is the Guru there? And so instruction, we must try to see instruction from everywhere. We must try to see the Lord's loving hand everywhere. And yesterday, the devotees are saying, oh, Krishna is so kind, Mahaprabhu is so kind. But I was thinking, Gurudev is so kind. He's given us this day of kind of confirming that everything will go on okay. We just go on happily. By the way, it is pouring down with rain outside now. We can hear it through the window. So let's see how Krishna plays with us today. It doesn't mean that we follow Krishna consciousness and every day is going to be a sunny day and there'll be no rain. So, and we actually thought, you know, when we got to the destination, which was a Cafe Union yesterday in Lecco, you know it, Sevarupa, we pointed it out to you. When we got there, really, the heavens, it was torrential rain. It is almost like the clouds have been holding back their rain all this time, and it had to come sometime. So it came at that time. So anyway, let's see. Today it's raining right now. Heavy rain, we can hear it. So it's a heavy rain outside. By the way, Paramanandru, we're in this hostel, and it does remind me of Jaipur, the hostel that we stay in, the dormitory, but it's massive compared with that. And there's 30 rooms, 30 rooms. And of course, we're in the very last room. Had to walk all the way down through 30 rooms to get to ours after walking all day long. That's not included in the 15 kilometers. That was like another kilometer. But if you just tip the chair over. Okay, I'll try and move it. So this is the dormitory. It's a brahmachari dormitory. Don't inspect it too much. But this is the dormitory. It's only got 2 beds. It only has like 2 beds tall, and there's so much space. And I was thinking that if this was India, we could divide this into 3 and have 9 people in each. You could have 27 people in here. Because you could have 9 people in a third. Well, okay, at least 18 people if it was in Indian, if we were on a pilgrimage in India and we got a dormitory, this would be 18 people. Yes, 18 people.
Actually, Maharaj, that reminds me of Rupanuga. Prabhu, he may not even remember that, but I asked him in Puri, when we were in Puri together, what about he was impressed. And first thing he mentioned, actually, he said, I'm quite impressed. We're living in this room, 5 of us, 5 adults, small room in our ashram, 1 toilet. And everybody is so happy and content. That's what he said to me. I still remember that. And then Muktinath was the next door, and he had a room all for himself. And he kept offering it to you because he's thinking, oh, disciple is staying in the comfort, and Guru is staying next door with another 5 or 4 guys. But you kept refusing. You're quite happy to be there.
Yeah, I remember that certainly. And yes, why we were moved. And he got the room by some chance, because I think, I forget what the chance was. So anyway, the room came free and he was needing a place. So he got the room like that. But we're already happily with the devotees, and we can put many more devotees in here. But you know, Europe is full of legalities, and you know, we're also, when we were arranging this week, we said we can put so many people. I said no, because of insurance and liability and this, that, and the other, and fire regulations. So we're not allowed to sneak any extra people in, or this, that, and the other. Europe's got all these controls, which India, you know, basically, yeah, here's a room, make yourself at home. As many, yeah, if you can fit 25 people in this room, that's fine. But it's a 2-man room. But during the parikrama time, you see the Indians, really, how many people there, just continuous, the floor would, in here, would just be, this would be maybe, I don't know how many people, so many people with the Indian.
Yes, I remember us arriving to Gokula, probably that pilgrimage that you mentioned with the Russian group. And the bus stopped, and behind us, a truck stopped, like a regular truck. Remember that?
And all the people coming out of the truck.
So
Oh,
I don't know how many, maybe 50. And there was some kind of a arrangement built in on the back. There are like 2 tires of people, and mostly big ladies, and they just kept coming out. It was like a miracle. And the truck wasn't anything special, just a truck. And they were so happy, not inconvenienced,
Yeah, I do remember that, and I appreciate that reminder, because they'd like done just some special arrangement in the back. I don't know how they made those 2 layers, but that was clever, because you got twice as many people in the same truck. So that was probably done by the truck owner. Like when they carry straw, why it's got to be overloaded to the extreme. So much so they got the helper, he goes along with a long bamboo pole. Every time they come to the wires crossing the road, electric wires, he just pushes it up with the bamboo pole so that the truck can go under. I mean, it's amazing.
And Maharaj, I did found that verse I've been thinking about. I put it in the chat. Really, it's a good verse to remember on that theme today. It's Yudhishthira Maharaj addressing Vidura, whom he is meeting after Vidura went on pilgrimage. And the Sanskrit is Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhutak Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Svantash Tinagadabhrita. My Lord, devotees, and he's calling Vidura my Lord. It's a normal address for a senior and respected Vaishnava. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified, because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart. You turn all places into places of pilgrimage. And this could be the slogan of this kind of pilgrimages.
Beautiful. Yes, Prabhu. And we are thinking too, I mean, specifically, we're thinking of Srila Gurudev on this particular pilgrimage. But one thing yesterday was, we are showing and stopping and describing where we do Harinam Sankirtan. And it's not that we do the Harinam Sankirtan, but where there is Harinam Sankirtan, that's a special place in the world. And that's got the glance of Mahaprabhu, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Saraswati Thakur, and all of our contemporary Guru Varga. But those places also, they just feel special when we know that there's also been Sankirtan going on. And I remember in Mexico City, which is, quite a big city, but we did Harinam Sankirtan in a large pedestrian area, and Ashram Maharaj was explaining about, different times we come here, and this festival we came here, that festival came here, and somehow we can feel those previous Sankirtans. They're there. Maybe Gurudev wasn't there, but in the sense of with his body. But the Sankirtan is going on there, and where, the genuine Sankirtan, the kind of kirtan ordained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again in Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no, not just any random kirtan, but how it was ordained by Mahaprabhu with mridanga kartals and the proper things to chant, because we hear some, not necessarily called Sankirtan, but we hear in different programs, like a hodgepodge chanting of, supposedly the names of the Lord, the names of gods, the names of this, the names of that, all kind of mixed together. But that's not approved. That's not the approved Sankirtan, you can say. And so where Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan taking place, there it is a special place. So if we're in a country or a place where actually there's been, not the footsteps of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, or Srila Prabhupada, but we can consider, but where has Sankirtan taken place? Where has there been Harikatha? How far is it from Chiang Mai to Bangkok? Who can give a quick answer, approximately?
750 kilometers, Maharaj.
I thought it was quite far. 750 kilometers. Okay, Rupanuga Prabhu, you have to get into training. Oh, he's not with us. He keeps...
Oh, he just left, Maharaj, literally like a few seconds.
No. Okay, no,
he's there. He's there. It's he's represented by this.
Very good, Prabhu. Good to see you leaning sideways into the picture. Rupanuga Prabhu, we're mentioning your name so many times today. Let us hear a few words from you kindly.
Well, I think Chiang Mai to Bangkok, even I would go on that if I'm in your illustrious company in Paramanandabadu. Yes. I'll get into training for it.
That's 750 kilometers.
Only.
It might take 1 month, maybe.
Yeah, this is almost like the length of Navadip to Puri. Navadip to Puri must be something quite long like that.
Yeah.
And you can do Madhukari. It's a part of the tradition.
Right.
Or get a lift along the way, maybe.
But with a big sign saying, if anybody would voluntarily like to give me a lift, I would accept it. Hare Krishna. Anyway, beautiful idea, Rupanuga Prabhu. Beautiful idea. Govinda. And actually, I'd love to hear from Harini and Sara Shiromani, actually. They're in Salt Lake City, and we've got your Salt Lake City representations here. But I'd love to hear how you're getting on. And we must see everything in a positive way. And you're here. This is very positive, and we'd like to hear news. Would either of you like to share a word or two? if it is suitable. It is maybe the night there. I'm not sure the time in Salt Lake City. And we've got your Sri Lanka. So, yes, Harini Didi.
Dandavats, Maharaj.
Dandavad.
Dandavats, all the devotees. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, everything's good here. I've just been enjoying watching you guys go on your journey to Monte Barro. It's so cool seeing Jaidev and Sri Lanka and Bandita and all the devotees. Yeah, that's kind of all. I'm excited for you guys and excited to hear more about the journey and the experiences. So I hope everyone is doing good. You guys kind of look tired back there, so I hope you get some rest.
When? Now or yesterday?
Always.
Always. I don't know. I think we started off not tired. And now we're okay. This is also something that is like amazing to me. I don't know what is sleep. And sometimes when you're very tired and just 15 minutes and you're rejuvenated, we just don't even know about our own life. But yet, all these wonderful things take place. Anyway, this is a bit of a pioneering pilgrimage, so it may not be the first. We'll see what can happen in the future for the pilgrimages too. And yesterday was flat, basically. We followed the river, but this dormitory, this is called hostel. This hostel, it's not by the river. So the last part, I did have to walk uphill to come up to here. And it's like 1.5 kilometers from the bottom, from the lake. But today we will have some uphill because we're going to go to the Monte Barro, that place, the retreat place, I don't know what else to call it, but that they rented the whole place for Gurudev. We're going there today. So that's halfway up Monte Barro. And then tomorrow we'll establish base camp, and then tomorrow we'll scale the mountain. And we saw yesterday the cross on the top. When you look carefully, you just see the cross at all. So when we're up there, we'll be looking back down. So that's our actual destination, is the place where Gurudev was. But when he stayed there, most of the devotees walked to the top of the mountain, including Devashish Prabhu, which I think we should send him a reminder from the top. Say, Devashish Prabhu, you can do it again. And anyway, so that's going to be our today's journey. Not so far in kilometers. Yesterday was 25 kilometers. So tomorrow, we're already tomorrow. So today we'll be doing less kilometers, but more uphill. So let's see how it goes. Hare Krishna. Anyway, this idea is not what we are doing, but we do. And by the way, I'm happy if you're able to see. Harini mentioned she's seeing us. So we've got Paramatma eyes. We've got eyes everywhere in this modern day of Facebook and things. So I'm happy that others are able to share. But we're always in the spirit of pilgrimage and not, we're going for a trek and walk like this. And we are trying to keep it like that. And actually, yesterday, devotees are asking each other, we're hearing them, and everybody's saying, oh, what a wonderful day. So, I mean, really, some hardship, one or two, actually, 6 or 8, they've resorted to the train some of the way up because they could, like halfway. And when you have blisters and things and on the feet, and the feet are not ready, it's not meant to be a torture. And this route, we do have that option of, somebody's not doing too well, then physically speaking, but they're all happy. They're not feeling any difficulty. I'm happy that the devotees are happy. And it was Vasudev yesterday asked me, "Oh, what are you thinking? What are you thinking today?" Really, I was thinking about the devotees. We want them to be not suffering, because we don't want the devotees to suffer. But pilgrimage, when we do the pilgrimage by foot, always at the end of the day, everyone's tired. And we have the mridanga, we have the kartals. We were going to do an evening program, but just it wasn't practical. Our evening program was Harikatha at the Prasadam table. And we have Prasadam from Vila Govinda. They cooked big khichdi, and khichdi is always a winner. So, I mean, I can live off khichdi, breakfast, lunch, and dinner without anything else. So, khichdi is magic, but it was Prasadam khichdi from the temple. They brought in a huge, huge pot. Took 3 devotees to carry it in from the car. Madhurananda Prabhu cooked it and brought it in the car from Vila Govinda. Okay, so dear devotees, some little bit of a theme, the favorable devotional activities that we see described by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We should try to do that, and that includes him saying, when I see the worship of the deity in my home, when I see the river Ganges, when I see Tulsi Devi, all these things, they're just transporting him to Vrindavan. And so similarly, this way we are doing some of these activities that he lists, which are favorable. And so let us be also transported and kept always, not only when we're on pilgrimage, but always. We want to keep ourselves nicely in Krishna consciousness, conscious of Krishna, conscious of our wonderful masters, great souls who've been here. We must not let that be either taken for granted or let that be forgotten. Also, we must keep this at the forefront of our mind, just like when Mahaprabhu went around South India. Then everybody forever became devotees. Then remembering Mahaprabhu's golden form, what he gave, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then telling their friends. All right, well, very quickly, our hour has passed somehow, very quickly. So we'll be looking forward to having you all with us. Lavanya Moy is with us. She's from Latvia, and she's hero. And when we suggested to her, would you like to go on the train? This option is here. We're halfway. We're near a station. And an immediate, no, I'm walking. She's very enthusiastic to come. And they're all enthusiasts. Here, our enthusiasts. Jagannath Prabhu, Jai Shekhar Prabhu, Leela Moy Prabhu. And who's on the bed?
Ajay.
Ajay from London. He's got his hands up. Our tall Ajay, the photographer. And anyway, we'll leave you to continue your day, and we'll do our day here. We're going to have a morning program. We had planned it outside, but we'll have to see about the rain and be practical. But we are in a hostel with others, so we have to be a little cautious, not to disturb anyone, only purify the environment, not to aggravate anyone. All right. So Jai, wonderful Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai, wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rokam, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And wonderful Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai, wonderful Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Jai, Shri Rupanu Guru Bhagavad ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. And Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
We said not to make any disturbance in the ashram. Okay, dear devotees, wonderful to have each of you with us. And Ganga Leela Didi, she's chanting as we speak. We can see Hare Krishna, she's got that. And to each of you with us, and Bhima Krishna and Ishtadevika somewhere nearby, our appreciation, Dandavat to each. All right, Amra Ashji, we'll meet you all soon here online and soon in person for several of you indeed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.